That is a problem, and I lived in Chicago. My little path of my life or whatever, I got the chance with what I did as a career to live in Chicago, Philadelphia, Hoboken, Los Angeles, a lot of different places, and also in Detroit, Hamtramck. And I've got to see how different cities approach different growths or mistakes. And when I was in Chicago, they were knocking down a lot of the old facades, and I was like, oh, you're going to save the front of that building, aren't you? They'd go and they chisel away with a scoop shovel and knock the back of the building out. And then the last step was to knock this 150-year-old facade into the street or into the basement. And then they put up this split-face rock. And a lot of the charm of Chicago was disintegrating as I was watching it happen. And we have to be aware of how cool our neighborhoods are and how big the Fifth Ward actually is, and how many, like Argus Farm Stand, those little spots within the community, like Jefferson Market, those places are what make neighborhoods kind of amazing. And the trend towards the downtown area of getting the chain restaurants and stuff is not, it's not going to keep us interesting. We have to keep this town, you know, why I want to stay here, and I don't know. We're kind of drifting in the wrong direction, I think, at this point.
So when we talk about housing, you know, a lot of it is an issue of supply and demand. For those people watching at home that are familiar with the Washtenaw County study, we are short, you know, just about 3,000 units of workforce housing, and that's, you know, people making up to 80% of the area median income. That's nurses, that's vets, that's a whole lot of people that we know. And we have focused our discussion and our development focus on downtown. And what we need to do is to look to create districts that have the elements of downtown that make it so desirable. That means, you know, having walkable neighborhood areas. That it means having different housing types in areas that we would call the missing middle as a planner. It's, you know, fourplex buildings, it's duplexes, it's threeplexes, and having, you know, multiple uses within a district. And if we can create those districts in places like Lower Town, here in South Town, over the old Broadway Kroger, then we can start to ease some of that pressure on downtown, because, you know, downtown is not the answer for all of our housing, and we have to take what people like about downtown and see what we can, how we can create that in other places, so that we can create these opportunities that people want to go.